Hey guys. Okay, so I'm waiting for my computer to kind of catch up with me here. All right, so here's the deal. We did the week 4 videos for you, and beta testers started to come through. And my beta clients, basically, I'm starting to see a trend where they hit a certain point all at the same time around week 4. So I'm changing the week 4 videos, and I'm going to talk about time mapping. The concept is used by Julia Morgenstern. It's also used by Stephen Covey. There's no point in doing time mapping until you actually understand what your roles and values are. So by this point, most people will have done their 24-hour day and will also have done their kind of gone through what the top 20 things they want are out of life. So what you do is you look at what you wrote about what you want to do on your last day ever. I know it's kind of a little bit of a downer, but it's like if you were to have only one 24-hour period left on the planet, what would you want to be doing? And when you look at these things, these are your deepest, innermost valuable items. This is what you cherish most. This is what makes your life worth living. This is the piece that you want just a little bit more of, and what you will regret if you don't get enough of. So we want to make sure that we have a way that we're incorporating this into our lives and schedules. The other thing that you want to do is look at the things that you want coming in your future. You've done your narrative. You have some idea of what a 5-year plan, 10-year plan, 1-year plan, what your future kind of could be, right? If you were able to kind of pull it off, what would that future look like, right? And then you have your list of 20, 25 things, whatever it is you came up with, is what you would want out of your life. And it's so interesting to see. I am fascinated by the fact that so many of my clients, it's almost like 100% have read something as one of their 20 items they would read more. It's a beautiful thing. And what's brilliant about something like that, read more, a lot of them have, I'd like to do a marathon, 5K, triathlon, something like that in there as well. What is interesting about those types of things that you want to see in your future, that's available to you today, right? Today, you can spend 15 minutes reading. You could set aside a half an hour, sit outside with a nice glass of iced tea and beautiful sun and just read something that just for the pleasure of it, right? So we want to look at all these kind of things and we want to make sure we fit them in, the small things. And then there's these long-term things where people say, I want health, right? I want health. That is the kind of thing that, like a 401k, savings is another, right? You can't have that unless you're building towards it kind of all the time. So we want to make sure that we're including these also in our schedule. And what happens is we write a whole big list of to-dos and then we can't fit them all in, or we try to and the schedule's so jam-packed. So I've never done this on a recording, so hopefully this works. I am going to share my screen with you, and I'm going to start to talk to you about how do we actually do this. Cool. Let's see. Hopefully you get to see me in the picture as well as this. If not, you'll just listen to me. All righty. So what we have here on the screen is a time map. And all it is the areas and values that you're identifying and main tasks and kind of like the times for the week. So what we do is we say, okay, one of the main things that I want out of my life is, personal, got to get some color there. There it is. Personal well-being. Okay. So you take that and you add that to your spreadsheet. And you can just print it out and type it in. Now, in order to keep myself from having to redo this every time, I'm just going to kind of add that in. Oh, that didn't work so well. We'll deal with that in a minute. So you've put personal well-being in there, okay? Another thing, of course, you're going to want in your schedule, for sure, is you're going to want your career. If you are, in this reboot your day job thing, then you have a day job, and it's of importance to you. Another thing that you'll want for sure in there is you'll want your let's get a size that looks good. You're going to want your family, friends, right? You're going to want some of that social life, whatever that is. We all have people that we care about, right? That's what that is. Personal well-being, career, family, and friends. And then it's kind of like, all right, what's going to come next in here? What else matters to you? So we'll just assume that financial security is of importance to you. Just going to say finance. And we're going to go ahead and add that in there. Okay. Let's get one more. Excuse me. How to mute this thing. I'm going to cough. Career, family and friends, finance, personal well-being. What's kind of universal? I'm just going to add in here. Just going to add in here hobby, right? Whatever that is. Some people like to travel, whatever that is. And then you can go on and you can continue to add things. As you'll see, the more you add in there, the more, oh, you know what else is also around that everybody has that I always put on mine? One more thing here. Edit text. Let's go ahead, get it big enough that we can see it. And I'm just going to put managing your household, right? Because that's got to happen. You have some kind of household management. Household, right? You got to manage your household, do laundry, whatever, right? All right, now that you've done that, let's give it some fill. We'll give it some different colors. So let's give personal well-being a nice sunny yellow. Let's give our career. We always want our career to seem relaxing. So let me just see if we can get some fill in here. We'll make that a nice blue. Family and friends is kind of joyous. We're going to give that a color here. I don't know. None of these colors look good to me, but I don't want to spend too much time. Finance, of course, right? It's got to be green. Hobby, right? Whatever. Let's see. We'll make it a dark blue. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. I sound like a TB patient today. And let's just go ahead and we'll do the household. I don't know. So funny. I'm so focused on colors. Okay, so there we go. So now we have some different colors. And then what you do is you say, okay, let's say you have to be at work from 9 until 5 every day, whether you like it or not, Monday through Friday. Okay. You're kind of going to put that the same color as your career box. And let's say it takes you a half an hour to get there. And it takes you a half an hour to get home. Now you kind of have on your time map, you understand, this is when I have to be at work. Okay. And so that's kind of a done deal. Now I can say, okay, personal well-being. Think about the kinds of things that go into that. Let's go ahead and grab that color here on our fill, and we'll just say, okay, well, I definitely want to get up, and maybe I want to exercise, and I have to shower, and I'm just going to call that all personal well-being. It takes me about 2 hours a day, 2 hours in the morning to do that personal well-being stuff. So there it is. I do that, and let's say I'm getting up at 6:30 in the morning. Let's say that's when we get up. So 9 to 5 is 8 hours, 10 to 6. So really, I go to bed at 10:30, and I'm just going to block this time out. That is nighttime, right? That is night. I'm asleep. And then, of course, I'm asleep all the way to here. So I make sure I get my 8 hours. And maybe, maybe on Friday I stay up later. And I like to sleep in on Saturday. Okay. See what we're doing here, right? We're just saying, hey, I'm going to stay up late. I'm going to sleep in on Sunday again. But Sunday night, I'm back to bed at my normal time. So there it is. There, I have my sleep mapped out now. So we kind of understand I'm going to bed at a certain time and that this is where I'm at. You can't start to feel, you want to make sure that you have that sleep time in there. So there's your sleep time mapped out, and you have a little better idea of what you're doing. This is your personal time for personal well-being. Let's say on Sunday, we still shower, we still do those kind of things. And let's say Saturday, I continue to exercise. So now I kind of know a couple of things that it's going to be is, self-care, personal maintenance, right? Let's put all these things so that they kind of go over here. I'll make it go there. And exercise are two of the big things that are coming in there. That's kind of what was in my mind. All right, let's say finance. All right, let's say, we're going to eat dinner with the family. And so we'll put that with friends and family. This is when we eat dinner together. Okay. So now I have a pretty good idea of what I've got to work with during the week. Let's say I've got to get ready for bed. Getting ready to go to bed at work, it's kind of personal time. So I'll mark that off there as well. Now I really see what I have to work with. This is what I have available for hobbies, household, whatever. Well, let's say I clean my house, do all my household chores on Saturday, go ahead and color that in for the household. And then, let's say I want to make sure I have time concentrated every week to do finances. And I'm going to do that on Mondays. And every Monday I'll just do my bills and retirement planning. I hope I mark these all to be. Yeah, okay. So we already know what I'm thinking of here. This is when I do my bills. Hey, thought I had that marked over here. Okay. And let's see what else is important to me. My hobby. I really want to spend some time on my hobby. Let's say one of my hobbies is I have an actual class. I'm going to go to a class. It's going to take me a while. Well, now I know what time I have free. I can go ahead and say on this night, I'm just going to spend that traveling to my hobby and taking the class and just doing all the things that are related to that hobby. There it is. And let's say it's a hobby that I can do. So I have a couple hobbies. I've got another hobby I want to do during the week, and I'm going to do that. Well, Friday, I'm just going to relax. I don't want to do my hobby on Friday. I want to spend some time on Sunday afternoons. I like to just kind of paint or play with something and do my hobby. So there's my hobby time. And, well, family and friends. Well, this is my dinner, like dinner with the family. Okay, so now I'm going to say, all right, What else we got going on here? I've got household. I'm taking care of my household. Oh, I've got to do some errands for my household. Let's say I'm going to do my errands. Obviously, the stores close at 9, so let's say I do my errands here. And let's say I don't like to come home, so I am going to go and do my errands right after work so that I don't have to come home. So we'll just modify that a little bit and get my household errands in. That means tonight is going to be kind of like it's a late dinner, and I'll be bringing home pizza on that night, right? So I can just put here. This is pizza night. Right? We don't have to put that in there. We can just leave it blank. The point of the time map is to kind of have, this is what happens to me. And let's see, what don't I have? I've got personal well-being, I've got career, I've got family and friends, finance, hobby, household. Let's say that really, you know, I want to spend like all of my Saturday evening just like being with family. Okay, so now I have a time map and I can just save this, and you don't even have to have these things in there. And this is your time map, and then you save it. Then what happens is you bring up your copy of your time map each week and you say, okay, what are the main things I want to do? And let's say I know now that what I want to do is run because I'm getting ready for a 5K. And then we can start saying, okay, I'm going to run, right? Whatever that is, I'm going to run 5 miles or run, you know, run a half mile, whatever this is. And I can start to plan out what am I actually doing for my exercise. Here I'm gonna run a half mile because I'm getting ready to run a 5K. So I'm gonna start with a half a mile and I'm gonna do that 3 times a week, and there it is, it's laid out. So I want to run. Okay, so that's my big rock. That's my main thing, and my self-care. And this is really just shower, right? Shower and get ready. Shower, get ready for work, whatever that is. Now I can look at my week and say, what do I want to do with my hobby this week? You know, and I can say, okay, well, as far as this goes, I want to take a pottery class. So Sunday, I can research classes, sign up, and then maybe this is when the class is, go to class. I have some extra time, I want to knit, whatever comes up my household this week. So I got something special I've got to do. I've actually got to, well, let's say I've got an outdoor pool, and this is something unusual. I have to open the pool. So I might say, okay, this is just my normal housework time. But now I've got to open the pool. I might this week decide that this is when I'm going to open the pool. I'm going to add that in. I might say, here's a big thing. I have a major report to do at work. And I'm just going to say, you know what? Here is the time I need to do that report. I'm just going to kind of box it out a little bit bigger and just say, this is my report. These are the main things. These are the big rocks that I have to get done this week. Let's say also, my husband says I don't spend enough time with him. All right, so this is dinner. Right, so you can see, and then I know I'm going to be grocery shopping, doing errands. And then pizza. Okay, what this does for you, and I know this is kind of long, but this is it. You put your big rocks in here, you get them on your time map, and now you kind of know how it all fits in. And you can say, oh, you know, I know tonight I got nothing planned. And that's always beautiful. you want to leave a lot of white space. Now, I know in the example that I sent you is Crazy Town. It's like I'm all filled in, and that's the way my time map looks right now, the one that I sent you with like Side Hustle 1, Side Hustle 2. When I try to live that time map, it does not work. So I'll share that with you in a second. But right here, this is what you do. You want to leave enough open time, and everybody has different open time requirements. Some people do not like to see a day that looks like this, where it's all booked up, right? Some people don't like to see that at all. Some people need white space in every day. You need to understand what kind of person you are, and then you have to plan your time accordingly. And then what happens is when somebody wants you to work late, you understand, oh, you know what? Tuesdays is a bad day. I'm going to have to, if I have to work late on this day, right? If this starts to come down here like this, right, then what happens is I just lost my finance time and my dinner with the family. So now I have to put back my family time, because that's like one of my high priorities. And now I only have an hour, and I don't have any white space if I fill it in. So forget that. And I'm not doing bills on Friday. I'm exhausted on Friday. So now bills are coming here. I'm going to be doing my finances over here now. You see what I mean? You now know what your price you're paying for everything you're moving, and you understand how much flexibility you have. That is the beauty of a time map. Your time map, the time zones stay the same. And then you put in your big rocks, and then as things come up, you know exactly what price you have to pay. What is the impact to your life? And it also makes sure that you're actually spending some time taking care of those things that matter. You're doing bills and then financial planning, right? Or reading about finance. Whatever's important to you, make sure you're in there. Look, I had to reschedule my family time. It's way important. I need it. I need some family time every day. Time with friends, whatever that is. You know what? I go out with my girlfriends. On Friday night, I'm out with my girlfriends. Sorry, that's the way it is, right? Then you start to have things in your life that you want. Then all those small things that you don't plan on, that this is how far they can fill up. But after that, sorry, you know, that's all the small things you can do because you have this time blocked out. Then you start to feel confident that you're going to actually do what it is you want. Now I'll show you a failed time map. Let me stop sharing. All right, I'm back with you. Let me see if I can find my failed time map. Actually, let me bring that up over here. Okay, so let me just share this screen with you. There it is. Okay, so now what you're seeing here is this is a failed time map of mine. So this is what I thought I was going to be doing, right? And what happened is, so this was on my time map. This is when I'm supposed to be working on my side hustle number 2. And basically what happened is this never happened. It happened like one day, and then the next 2 days it didn't happen at all. Now I know something. I can't do all of this. And then the other piece was this definitely happened, right? My personal finance didn't happen. So now I understand I don't have enough white space, which means I have to rethink like really how I plan. And I need white space in every one of these days. The other thing that didn't happen is my lifting. Now that didn't happen not because I couldn't do it, but because quite frankly, I don't particularly care for that. So in order to hit, all my goals and make sure I have everything I want, what I learned from this time map is, number one, it's very difficult for me to hit all of this in a day. And also I had a client like kind of shove in there that I wasn't expecting. And then the other thing is I need some white time every day. So, it's just good to know. Now I realize I can't fit all this here. That means I'm going to have to understand I can't get 2 chapters done a week, right? It's not going to happen. I have to understand that maybe I can't take 2 clients on Monday night. Maybe my personal finance needs to stay there, right? Maybe I need to understand, what my limits are, or maybe I need to get somebody to do my housework for me. I maybe you need to hire somebody. It just depends, right? So you want to make sure you want to go back and evaluate it. It is not set in stone. Once you get a good one going, and I had a good one go for about almost 10 years, pretty strategically laid out. That became, that worked after that. I didn't have to redesign it, but it took a while to get it. And you have to notice how you feel while you're doing these things and whether you can do them or not. Another thing is I have a problem. I think to myself that I have Thursdays to do extra work for work. It's quite obvious that I don't, since I'm supposed to be grocery shopping at the same time. So I have to either move this, find another place for it, or get a better idea about where I put in my extra time for work if I want to. Okay, so that is time mapping. And now you see, until you know what your main goals are, until you know what you value, you can't understand how you're going to manage your time. And until you know what you're doing, you for sure don't know, you don't know the cost of your interruptions. All right, guys, so I hope that you find this helpful, and I'll share out my blank time map templates with you. And thank you so much.